Still a mask ordinance. So when you're on your mat, only you can exempt yourself. Whoops. Due to a medical condition or otherwise. Welcome, yogis at home. Thanks for joining us. If you'd like to use a playlist I sent, it's called Yin 75-7. And we'll cue it up in 3, 2, 1, play. All right. We're going to start with supine butterfly. So if you have a pillow, that's great. You can set it up behind you, long ways on your mat. Another option is you take your towel or blanket and roll it up into a log. If you have neither of these, that's fine. Not a big deal. We're focusing more on the opening the hip flexors than a back bend, but by laying back on something, you incorporate a little heart opener, pretty subtle. So you can play with how close you bring your heels to your pubic area. You can go further away for more of a diamond shape, or bring it in nice and tight for butterfly wings. Feel into both options. And then from there, simply recline back. And if you are laying on a prop, make sure your head is supported. If your head is rolled back, double check that that works for you today. It doesn't create any pain in your neck or upper back. And take this moment to close your eyes and just give all of your attention to your breath. With each passing round, fuller, deeper, especially on your inhales, really expand your diaphragm, your belly, even below your navel. Feel this space open with your inhales. And then as you exhale, oppose that with a slight press of your belly towards your spine. As you breathe, as you fall back into your body and allow any distractions to dissolve, see the path of your breath. You can use your imagination. It could be anything. It could be colors. It could be an elemental energy like water or fire, air even. See it making its way through your channels, your meridians. See your vitality, your life force spreading throughout your tissues, throughout your joints. And scan yourself for drishti options. One that I like is to gaze inward at my third eye, the space between my eyes. Maybe your heart. Maybe your root, your base, to invoke safety, security, as well as vitality. Could be a mantra, an affirmation. This yin space, this stillness, is a practice in gazing at ourselves, sitting with ourselves, observing yourself. We'll find Samavriti now. Left hand to heart, right hand to belly. Equalize your breath. Together, we'll use a count of 6. First, let's cleanse. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale slowly. 1, 2, 3. Pace yourself. 4, 5, 6. Suspend. And exhale. Slow release. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Again. 1. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep expanding. 6. Hold. And release. Maybe open mouth. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reflect. Again, inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. And release. 6, 5. Press your belly slightly inward. 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Bring your palms to your outer thighs. Assist your knees back towards each other. And take a few movements here. It could be windshield wiper side to side with your knees. If you are laying on a prop, you can move these items before you start to move freely. Another option would be happy baby, seed pose, hug your shins into your chest. Mobilize your hips a little. Massage your low back and really your whole spine as you move. Hip circles might feel good. Excellent. And now make your way to a fetal shape on the right side of your mat. Rest your head on your right arm. Give all of your weight to the earth. As you inhale, reach your left arm to the ceiling. As you exhale, roll onto your shoulder blades. Keep your hips and legs as they are. And you can bring your right palm to your top thigh, add a little traction. You can place something between your thighs if your knees have separated once you opened into the twist. Another option is to bring a prop under your bottom thigh to elevate your legs just a bit. Now, this is especially good if, in this case, when you roll open, you can't quite ground both shoulder blades without one side lifting up. You can tee out your arms. or cactus. Gaze left, perhaps stretch your neck. And continue to simply breathe in rhythm, deeper, fuller each round. Bring your attention to the areas where you notice sensation. For instance, perhaps your low back, outer hips. And observe the interaction between your breath and the sensations in your body. Although for most of us, this pose is not, you know, there's no extreme of sensation like you might experience in dragon or outrigger or saddle. But still, nonetheless, there is a relationship between what you're feeling in your body and your breath. And one thing that I've noticed in my practice is that the intensity, to whatever extreme it reaches within a shape, always has a sort of rise and fall, almost an ebb and flow quality. And this is very much a quality within our breath. As we inhale, we collect, we withdraw, we back off. With the exhale, we advance, we surge forward. So just as we take time to move freely or to take unique variations that apply to our unique skeletal structure, find variation in how you breathe. Within yin, some like an ujjayi breath. They like to bring that breath from our vinyasa practice. In and out through the nose, slight constriction in the back of your throat. Some would say this is a yang breath, a controlled, manipulated breath. Not a good or bad, it's just a choice. The one thing I like about ujjayi within even this practice is that it is indeed in and out through the nose, which is known to trigger your parasympathetic nervous system. Rest and digest. In order to balance, stabilize, and purge the residue of fight or flight, the sympathetic nervous quality. And this quality is triggered by stress of all forms. It may feel good for you to simply breathe naturally, as if you were lying in bed reading a book. It may feel good to mix breath patterns and techniques, depending on the pose you're in or the level of sensation you're feeling. Layers upon layers of practice. Complexity within simplicity. Let's take a full breath together. Inhale and exhale. Stay for one more in-breath. As you exhale, very slowly return to your fetal shape, right side of your mat. A moment to digest, to observe the circulation of the posture we just held. Take a full breath in. And as you exhale, roll all the way to the left side of your mat. Once again, a fetal shape. Let your body spread. Soften your head, your neck, your jaw, space behind your eyes, bridge of your nose, tops of your ears, crown of your head. Same thing on this side, except inhale, reach your right arm high. And exhale, roll onto your shoulder blades. And you may find it's different on this side. You may want to use your props in a different way or the same. One option is something between your thighs. Another one, something under your bottom thigh, between the earth and your leg. You can tee out both arms or use your left palm in this case as a little extra traction. You very gently press into your top thigh. You can turn your head to the right. Find a lovely neck stretch. These are all just options. There are many more. Just as I encourage you to experiment with your breath, I encourage you to experiment with your shape. You can fine tune, especially if you're maybe not sensing much sensation. You can adjust the alignment of your hips and knees. You can bring your knees slightly above your hips, or slightly below, or exactly in a line. You can also dial in the alignment of knees and ankles. Some like, again, a straight line vertically. Or maybe it feels good to extend your feet slightly away from your midline or draw it in closer. Once again, a key component to a supine twist is to equally ground your shoulder blades down. Continue to emphasize the rhythm of your breath. There is no limit to how slow or how deep you can breathe. The deeper we breathe within postures in both active and restorative practices multiplies the potency of the asana. There are many limbs within the practice of yoga. And I find it exciting to incorporate as many of these limbs into a single practice. So indeed, we have asana, we have shapes, physical postures. And with concentrated breath, we have pranayama, the fourth limb. We can gaze inward, study the self, observe our own patterns, our own pathways. And there you have pratyahara, the fifth limb. And then dharana and dhyana, sixth and seventh. Profound focus. All of your attention on one aspect, one goal, one teaching, one wisdom, whatever it is. And to further that by maintaining one focus for extended periods. And the eighth limb, the completion of the journey of yoga, samadhi, bliss. And this bliss may not be permanent. However, we often have that blissful feeling after a practice. Full breath in, full breath out. Stay for your inhale. Exhale, return, fetal shape, left side. Slowly, of course. Coil into your own little ball of love, tenderness, self-care, self-observation. Perfect. And make your way to prone. Come onto your belly. Let's face the front. We'll set up Sphinx. I'm going to give you quite a few options in this one. So feel free to choose one that works for you. First, we have fundamental Sphinx. Shoulders generally in a line with your elbows. Forearms form an 11 or prayer hands. Extend your legs behind you. I like hip width. Some people like toes touch. It's really your choice. Keep your head up or let your chin fall to chest for a delicious stretch on the back side of your neck. First option, of course. You can also deepen the back bend, the intensity, sensation, by elevating your forearms. If you have a prop, you can roll up a towel or use a pillow. I'd like you to take some neck movements, especially in the first, 10, 20 breaths. Whatever feels just right. It may feel good to turn your ears toward your shoulder bones. It may feel good to let your head fall down and then lift it back up. Another one I like is to yawn your mouth open wide, stretch out your jaw, and then close it again. Maybe even your eyeballs as well, open wide, then close. While you're doing all that, really give weight to your abdomen and pelvis. And notice how this tractions invites rich sensation in your low back. Scan your glutes, your legs, your shoulder bones. Seek out unconscious clenching and binding, and distinguish it by simply letting go in your tissues. Keep the tops of your shoulders slightly elevated, so a little bit of action there. And counter this by releasing the tendency to hold your chest up. So just let it fall forward and down. And again, this will invite traction on your spine. Gaze within or find a soft gaze, eyes slightly open. And return to the potent rhythm of your breath. Just as we did early on, see the circulation of prana within the asana. You can use your favorite color, or again, your favorite element. See it especially in any areas where you're feeling a little sticky today. Maybe shoulders, hips, low back. Now stay with this, or join me for seal in the last 20 or so breaths. Palms to the top corners of your mat. Slight external rotation of your fingertips. Out. And you can bring your wrist creases towards your belly for more depth, or walk them away for less. Now, there's definitely some intensity to be experienced here. So remember to play your edge, 2 to 5 on a scale of 10. Slightly dull, slightly achy, slightly bitter, nothing sharp. Avoid any numbness or an inability to breathe naturally. This means you are too deep, and it would be safest for you to back off. Still, chin to chest or head up, or you're welcome to continue to move freely in your neck. Let your belly be heavy, your chest light. Let's take a full breath together. Inhale. Exhale. Stay for your in-breath. Exhale slowly. If you are up in seal, bend your elbows one at a time. Come back to your forearms. And then you can stack your palms, rest your forehead there, or come onto one side of your head and bring your arms along your side bodies. Both may feel good. Option 2, windshield wipe your legs a bit, bend your knees, side to side motion. As most of you know, this resonance equally potent to the asana themselves. A time to patiently integrate the wisdom of the previous posture. To allow the energy to circulate through your meridians, tonify your organs, your tissues, your ligaments, your joints. If your head is turned, you can go the other way as we balance. Right, make your way up onto your seat. Slowly, of course, we'll set up for caterpillar, which is just a forward fold seated. If you do have a towel or blanket, fold it up into a square. We'll use this to elevate sit bones. It's not mandatory. If you have a pillow, make sure it's nearby. Another option would be another fabric, towel, or large blanket rolled up again into a log. Extend your legs forward, feet hip width. Take a moment, allow your seat to settle. Stack shoulders over hips. And allow your seat to spread in all directions. In addition, the back line of your legs. Well done. Stay with this as you inhale. Or exhale, option to fold. And once again, take your pillow, rolled up blanket, or bolster with you. And fold to a workable depth. Remember, we have some time, so you don't have to go to the fullest range of motion just yet. But ideally, your head is resting on something. If it is not, no worries. Just let your chin fall to chest. If you'd like to, you can bring fingers to toes, outer edges, bottoms of your feet even. If you are taking this variation, as little effort as possible. So avoid pulling. Instead, just let your hands rest on your feet. And we talked about this last week. When we are upright, when we are seated, gravity is always compressing our spine down into our hips. And oftentimes, the tissues in our hips and the tissues in our low back tend to entangle. These forward bends give you an opportunity to elongate your back and all the tissues that make up your back body, especially low back, and to untangle those webs that build over time in our hips and back. So a little bit of opposing energy here. Extend through your whole spine slightly forward and simultaneously ground your hips down into your mat. And right at your waistline, feel that peeling apart. Deep breaths always. And remember to play your edge safely, consciously. 2 to 5. Slightly dull, slightly achy, slightly bitter. Nothing in excess. Address once again the quality in your neck, your jaw, palate, eyeballs, space behind your ears. And take time here to incorporate as many limbs as you can. Allow it to be natural, nothing forced. Use your intuition by noticing the limbs that attract you. And maybe play with those. Perhaps pratyahara calls you to withdraw again your senses, your external experience, and travel throughout your inner landscape. Maybe as we settle into yet a new year, you have many goals, many lists. Perhaps focus on one. Stay with it as you conjure and attract that which brings your goal to fruition. Perhaps yet again, pranayama is more than enough. As you dive deeper, peel away layers upon layers and discover the richness of your breath. reminder that within the shapes, movement, adjustments, modifications, as time passes, is absolutely welcomed. This is not a prison for you to stay perfectly still. In fact, I encourage especially subtle undulations, fluid movements to inspire circulation as well as a pooling of your tissues, an unwinding and untangling. Full breath with me, inhale and exhale. If you are folded, especially deeply, bring your fingertips to the earth and spider walk slowly. Keep your chin to chest. Bring your torso upright. Stack shoulders over hips, palms to your thighs, and linger here. Notice the waves of sensation. Energy moving through your body. And now make your way onto your back. Remove your prop if you did sit on one. And take a mini shavasana. My favorite way to counter a deep fold. Arms out wide, legs out wide. Slightly tuck your chin towards your chest once you're laying down to lengthen the space behind your neck. Imagine you're floating high above the clouds, no weight, no resistance. Take a refrain from gravity's press. Perfect. Make your way back to your seat. I recommend rolling one to one side and then just pressing yourself to upright, as opposed to doing a little sit-up. But if you'd like, you can do a rock and roll, a gentle one, of course. And if you have a towel or blanket, place it towards the back third of your mat. We'll face forward. We're going to set up dragon, just to pad your back knee, left knee in this case. But from a table, step your right foot forward. We'll build this shape. Nudge your back knee behind you. Create space along your left quadricep and hip flexor. Now, ideally, your front knee is generally stacked over ankle. So try to avoid anything like this, where your knee's well behind your foot, or the opposite, where your knee's well in front. Although for some skeletal structures, this can be very good. So feel into your body. There's not really a right or wrong. Palms inside your front leg, or you can bring your right palm outside. Again, this applies more to the variations within our structure in terms of what is best. Take a moment to linger. Let your hips sag towards the earth, chin to chest. Possibly slight external rotation of your front foot, so away from the midpoint of your mat, but not rolling onto your outer edge. So keep all four corners planted. Stay with this, or bring your forearms down towards the mat. Breathe into your hips. Maybe continue to nudge your back knee behind you. Just little bits, maybe every few breaths. You can continue to roll out your neck a bit. Release any residue from a busy week or a busy weekend. Now stay with this, or perhaps come with me to winged dragon. So bring your torso back to upright, bring your weight into your left palm, right palm to your inner front thigh. Stay for an inhale, let your hips sag again down towards the earth. As you exhale, gentle press into your inner thigh. Rotate your chest to the sky. Very subtle, path of least resistance. Little to no effort. Use momentum and gravity. And in this one, it may feel good to roll slightly onto the outer edge of your front foot. But not so much that you're compressing your ankle joint. Allow your shoulder blades to kiss. Keep your chin over heart. Lead with your chest, not your face. And especially in these deeper hip openers, movement is encouraged. Subtle, but still movement nonetheless. Breathe into resistance. Breathe into sensation. One more option. From winged, you can return to neutral dragon where we began, or you can find exalted dragon with me for the last segment. Stack palms on your front thigh. Elevate your chest. Subtle back bend here, cobra quality in your chest. So sternum forward, hips heavy, shoulder blades towards each other. Even gaze up may encourage length along your spine. And let this invoke for you a sense of the fullness of the limbs of our practice. Proud, confident, courageous, and all the avenues upon which you better yourself. You meet yourself. And with humility, you grow, you learn, you evolve. Scan your body for clenching, binding, bearing. Soften, surrender. Full breath with me, inhale. Exhale. And wherever you are, Bring your hands to the earth. Pause for an inhale. And as you exhale, slide back slowly, rock back, find half splits. You may want to manipulate your leg with your hand, actually. And feel into that for a moment. I recommend pulsing a bit, kind of forward into your lunge, back into half splits. As you do, undulate in your back, mobilize your neck. And it may even feel good to bring your hips all the way to your back heel and bring the back line of your right leg down to the earth. Well done. And now move your prop and come to your seat. We're going to combine two poses in this dragon series. Extend your right leg long. And take a half cow face, wrap your left knee, left thigh over your right. Bring your knees towards stacked. Elevate to your crown, let your sits bones spread, and flex your right toes to shins. Again, press the back line of your extended leg down into your mat. Stay with this as you inhale. Make sure your prop's nearby, a pillow or a rolled up blanket. Exhale, fold towards your front knee. Just an option. You can stay upright. That may be more than enough. You can rest your head on your top knee. Or again, use a prop to pad your head. Visualize, use your intention to spread your seat in all directions. Yes, your breath is your ally. Observe that rise and fall of intensity. A reminder to us all that all things pass in time. The good, the bad, the exciting, the uneventful. The only constant is change. In truth, the only prisons, the only cages, the only traps are in our minds. And thus we practice yoga to free the conditioned mind, to invite our own infinite spirit to manifest here on earth. Full breath before we move on. Inhale. Exhale. If you are folded, walk yourself to upright and linger for just a moment. Feel into your own experience. Notice every detail. Unwrap your legs slowly, consciously. Palms behind you for support. And you can pedal one leg at a time forward and back, or you can windshield, or you can do both. I like the windshield because you can kind of roll out your head, neck, and shoulders, arch your spine a bit as you move and mobilize your hips. But again, what serves you is best known by you. Couple more breaths. And when you're complete, next round of dragon. This time set up your padding for your back leg, which will be your right knee. And again, it's not mandatory, it's just helpful. Step your left foot forward from a table and nudge your back knee behind you a bit. Create some length. Stay with this for a moment. Head heavy or head up, chest forward, hips toward your mat. Stay with this, or come to forearm. And feel free to move a little within this. Feel into your hip joint. Stay with this, or move to winged once again. Torso to upright, weight in your right palm, and the left palm to your inner front thigh. Stay for an inhale. Then exhale, use your breath as momentum to drop your hips down and rotate your chest up. The press of your palm into inner thigh is extremely subtle. An option to roll slightly onto the outer edge of your front foot. Again, keep your chin neutral over heart and instead turn your chest and shoulder bones as opposed to your neck. Bring your attention to your right hip flexor. Invite the spread, the lengthening, the spaciousness. Now stay with this, or we'll finish with Exalted Dragon. Come back through neutral and stack your palms on your front thigh. Lift your chest. Option to tuck your back toes for stability. Slight press of palms and the legs. Feel the forward and down momentum of your hips. All the while, maintain lightness in your spine and chest. Now, obviously, there's a significant amount of yang in this yin shape. However, dial it in with your awareness, your breath. Find that balance, path of least resistance, effort and ease. Again, your breath is the mastermind behind equilibrium. Option to even look up, let the back of your head fall towards your shoulder blades. This may encourage a little more of a back bend. Stay for your inhale. Exhale, slowly return back to dragon, palms to the earth. Inhale, chest forward, look forward. Good. Exhale, rock back. Extend your front leg. Feel free to use your hands to set your front leg up. And we'll pulse in and out of a kneeling lunge and half splits. Feel free to move as slowly as possible. Invite the digestion of this powerful dragon series. Once again, an option to sit on your back heel. Bring the back line of your front leg to the earth. And fold within this. When you feel complete, remove your props, come onto your seat. Extend your left leg forward. Wrap your right thigh over left this time. Once again, half cow face in your legs. Ground down through your seat, lift up through your crown, and flex your toes a bit. Left toes to spread the back line of your straight leg. Stay with this as you inhale, or exhale, fold. Maybe rest your head on your top knee, or use your props. No props today, no problem. Chin to chest. Energetically reach back through your hips and extend forward through your crown and front heel. Again, the untangle of your midline, your waistline. Scan your entire body, toes to crown and back again. Seek out congestion and let it go. Full breath first. Inhale. And exhale. If you are folded, bring your torso back to upright. Linger for a moment. Shoulders over hips. Unwrap your legs. Once again, pedal forward and back, or windshield wiper side to side. We'll meet in Shavasana. No rush. Complete your resonance movements. Then lie back. You bring cushy items under your knees to take pressure out of your low back. You can cover up if you're chilly. You can bring something under your neck, an eye pillow even. Take up space. Just another minute or so before our normal class time ends. And allow you to enjoy a nice long Shavasana and seal your practice in your own unique and mindful fashion. Take all the time you need, especially yogis at home. And we'll see you out front. Yogis at home, thank you for joining us. Once again, I encourage you a nice long Shavasana. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Sleep well.